Hello, welcome back to another episode of D&D Party Crew. Last we left off, our team went head to head against Lord Valistar's forces. They challenged Lord Valistar and prevailed. And on top of that, they received some very interesting information about Azimentus and perhaps where his power is coming from truly. It kind of makes you question what Nelia's intentions are.
What's her deal?
What's her deal? On top of that, Mask confronted you about your contract finally ending, and if you would like to renew said contract. He also reveals that it has been very pressing on the minds of the aspects that this situation with Azimentus be resolved. They are not sure why the Celestials, Electius, one of Nelia's followers, has decided to turn this particular way, and if it is the act of Nelia herself. These are all questions. Sabib has fortunately been saved, and here we are in the aftermath. You guys find yourselves still in the clearing where you just defeated Lord Valistar. Mask has left, and that is where we will open for the evening.
None of you are actually considering this contract, are you?
I feel like I'm in a bit of a unique position. I mean, I don't want to. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to, but I'm a little concerned about I don't know. I was dead. I was very dead, and he brought me back to life, and I don't know. I still am not 100% sure if there is a terms and conditions to that. He seems to say there's not, but I wouldn't put it past him. But that doesn't mean that the rest of you would have to do anything. I mean, this is my own deal. This is a very unique position, so I don't know. I need to think on it more. I think I'm exhausted. We've had a very long day without that added to our stress, so I don't know.
We have been very successful with the help of Mask while under his
Well, all the help
tutelage.
we've had is you.
Yeah.
He himself
Well,
has not helped us.
yes,
He did
but
save
mean-
endurance, though. That is
Yeah.
help.
But Little herself, she
Yeah.
said she was going to save you, and then Mask jumps in and resurrects you.
Well,
That's
regardless,
true.
it is good to know that we have two potential healers in the party.
Mishra, I'm very surprised you would want to side with Mask again.
Listen, my quarrel, it was never with Mask. It was never Mask that betrayed me. It was always Veril. It was his own choice to do what he did. I do not blame Mask for that. But what I do thank him for, very cautiously that is bringing us a new friend. And bringing us the safety of another.
Silence. Who is Beryl?
no, to be honest, I'm not quite sure either.
That's right.
Yeah.
So for both of them.
Shit.
Oh, that's so funny. I was back in the
Just nod
ancient
along.
texts. Oh. Well, I don't know. I think this is something that we don't need to decide on tonight. That's for sure. We are all exhausted. I know I am. But I don't think it's, at least for myself, I can't say it's completely off the table. But that doesn't mean that for the rest of everyone, it it doesn't have to be that way for you guys. I'm in a bit of a unique position, and it's not that I feel like I owe him anything, but I mean, I guess it is partly. I don't know if this is some inner, like, I don't know. I'm conflicted, and I'm not entirely sure why, because I feel like myself of a few months ago would not have had this problem, but at this point, I'm not sure. I think I need to think about it.
For me, and this is a big if I were to sign a contract, the only circumstance would be is him somehow helping us more, providing more information or something. Because I
What
feel like this whole time he's been withholding things from us.
what
Very strange.
else? What are your goals outside of the mission current to beat up that weird elf guy?
Well, the whole reason I went to the Temple of Mask, of course, I got my coin, but I wanted to be able to become more powerful to be able to save this girl named Keish. She is trapped by some spirit or mage or who knows what. All these questions I've been asking seem to not lead anywhere. So that's what I'm trying to do. And got wrapped up in all of this, which I want to help this cause. I mean, if we don't stop him, he's just going to keep destroying the entire continent. Don't want that.
Maybe that's my problem now that I think about it. I didn't really have much of a purpose before this, if we're being honest. I had a purpose years ago. My circle, that was my purpose. My people and my forest, and now they're gone. And I haven't quite figured out what to do with myself yet. So this is as good of a purpose as any. So maybe figuring out who did that to my people, but it's there are too many questions. Whatever happened was I wasn't present, and I don't know if it's some sort of weird guilt because I wasn't present and I didn't die with them, but maybe part of me, I don't know. All has been for me in the last few months is this mission. I don't know how to see beyond it right now.
Mishra kind of pats you on the back.
But just because I feel differently about this doesn't mean that the rest of you have to. I mean, this doesn't have to be we can still work towards the same goal, but not all of us need to get into some contract. But, I mean, I'm not even certain I will, but I just think it'd be wise, even if just a couple of us keep our options open, because I do think he could provide help. And I don't know, maybe I'm I don't know, wanting to get more from him than we'll ever get, but who knows?
Well, I want to kill. I want to kill whoever's causing all of this issue. Sorry, my voice. I've thinking the last battle.
Did you get hit in the throat?
No, it's not even that. I think I swallowed a bug.
Oh my
Now,
god.
did you eat the bug intentionally?
No, it just and then and then I don't know. But what are we doing again? What are we? Are we going for mask, or who are we help? Why? I mean, are you going to leave us?
I don't know. I don't think anybody's leaving. I think right now what we
Well-
need. I don't know. Well, yes, that is the other big glaring thing that in all of our discussions we have not mentioned is that Silas, I don't believe, would be remaining if we did not. So, which I don't know if that would be a forcible or I'm gonna go ahead and leave. I'm gonna like look at Silas and be like, I mean, I don't know how much of a say you have in that, so I'm not blaming you necessarily, but that is something to consider.
Hmm.
I mean, no offense, Silas, but I mean, even if we all said yes, I highly doubt Elodia will agree to a new contract, assuming that he went and spoke to her as well.
Hmm.
That is a good point. But I think one thing we can know is that this might just be one of those things where not all of us have the same opinion or get what we want out of it. It might just be a situation where we do what we think is best and accept whatever consequences come with it. But again, not something we are in imminent need of deciding tonight, thankfully.
Speaking of tonight, what are we eating? Ooh, and who are we? Where are we going?
Or I would hope we would go back to the city. I mean, it's. I imagine it's still in turmoil. Might
Are
want
we
to.
going to take, sir? Are we going to take this man's corpse?
I mean, we
Well,
would.
you gave me his head.
Yes,
Oh yeah.
his
Oh yes.
head. Well, we're taking part of his corpse, which is technically that. So yeah.
Very
We
fun.
gotta
Okay,
go
good.
ask some questions about Nelia, because I certainly have my fair share of them after that little vision I just saw in that woman's head.
I need a perception
We-
check from you guys.
My book! Getting it. Hold on.
Perception.
Perception. Oh, don't get scared. You're
No.
I made a perception check.
fine. Perception check.
Yeah.
80 gold. Oh, that's a good one. Let's see. Well, I say
I
that.
need the max wing.
All right, that is an 18 for me.
Got it. 5.
Hmm.
9.
23.
Krogan. Nice. Krogan, with your newfound intellect, you you are always aware of your surroundings, but you kind of took the time when you beheaded Lord Valistar to also kind of rummage through his pockets. You found a very ornate piece of paper kind of rolled up into a scroll.
Oh, and is this the roach?
A
The
what?
No one got it. That's okay.
I get it.
What were you
Cicada
saying?
got it.
What did you say?
I didn't
Is
get
this the roach?
No.
it. Oh.
Right.
I didn't think you said a real word.
Oh.
All right.
Ooh.
Here's what.
Oh, what?
Hey, on a
No.
downcast
Share
day.
their
A
screen.
letter
All
from
of these
Lord-
words, someone else read them. I give it to Endurance or whoever.
A letter. Oh, and message me said little got a 13 perception. A letter from Lord Adismentus. Do you want me to actually read this, or are we all reading it? I don't want to go on.
You
Go
can
for
read
it. Read it.
Okay,
read it out loud.
okay. A letter from Lord Azimentus. I see the plight of my children, and I lament the battles that await us. My children, hold fast, and know that soon the light will bathe us in Nelia's glory. A downcast day in the walls of Hareth Abbey, in the cry of a child of holy elven blood, cast aside in favor of one tainted with the blood of the unchosen. That was the catalyst for my mission. I will not stand to see Nelia's chosen defiled and cast aside anymore. For so long, the bloodlines of Saint Relaria Camerdum Varl were kept pure, and her children were revered among the masses. My hand extends to the elves and humans alike, as we are all beautiful creations of Lord Harkton. But remember, we follow Nelia, our highest lady, specifically selected to guide, direct, and teach our fellow creations. Why did you forget your calling? When we rise to our role in the divine tapestry, we will set Nelia's plan in correct accordance. Maybe then Isray will take pity on our world. My children, hold fast. Let not your hearts be swayed by these impure souls, for their minds may think this holy crusade is without thought, but it is directed by divine foresight. Comforting. Rise and set the correct path in motion, and all will fall into its correct place. We will be showered with praises and holy delights from Lady Nelia when the crusade resolves. Finally, have mercy on the impure souls. They do not know their error, and let their error be guided by the gentle blade of the axe.
That last part was cool.
Yes, it was a bit of a contradiction there, but and Lord Azamant is Hadraxian, second son of Bray Lorraine. Is that how correct pronunciation, Emma?
Braylorian.
Blayrorian. Hadraxian, heir of the line of Varel. Huh. Well,
Cementus is related to Caleb Burrell.
yes, that's a bit of
Jacob.
Jacob. My bad.
interesting. That's something I really thought Jacob would have mentioned to us, possibly. A little odd.
Like related as in like brothers,
Yes, or distant.
half brothers or something.
More like Lord Azamantus, more like Lord Lamentus.
My soldiers fight. My
That's what I
soldiers.
thought.
God.
I thought that
Soldiers cry out.
whenever it was talking about being a part of the tapestry, I thought of the
Right.
My
what was it?
soldiers.
I thought of the will a turtle not be part of the choir?
Ooh.
There's the whole thing if you want to read it again.
Oh yeah.
What is it?
Alright. Ben, it's your turn to read it out loud.
Oh, let it. No.
Readiness of Saint Hilaria.
Hmm.
Cameron. Do we know that name?
Yeah, for sure. She's the saint that Nelia revealed herself to.
Whoa, whoa.
Oh. Oh, and that's so Saint Eularia Khmer de Morel.
So, history lesson.
Ooh.
I think I've told you guys this before, so I'll tell you again. No worries. Caervarel, the country to the north of Lyceum, where you presently are.
Yes.
Herath Abbey is in Caervarel. Herath Abbey is the seat of all the followers of Nelia. So Relaria Camerden Varel, she was an elf long time ago. That every time a new ancient kind of reveals themselves to the world, they do it through a saint. So each ancient has a saint, with the exception of Eastray. Eastray has yet to reveal itself. But when Nelia was revealed via the divine tapestry, it was through Relaria Camerden Varel. Therefore, everybody of that lineage, of Relaria Camerden Varel's lineage, was considered like the holiest of holies. For good reason. Jacob Varel claims that lineage, but so does Azamentus.
Bruh.
Hey, what is Jacob Burrell? Is he half elf?
Yeah, he's half elf.
Hmm.
Ew.
Well,
Oh no.
So, pretty obvious why Azimentus is claiming the true lineage at this point, and that's why he's signing all these papers like this.
Hmm.
Who's Jacob Burrell again?
He's
I meet
kind of the
him?
yeah, you met him. He was there at the meeting of champions. He's the elf with the glasses.
Okay.
He was one of the ones that
Oh,
rescued
flash
us
shelf.
in the snowy mountains.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
Oh.
kind of been the president or like the leader of like the council that has been established to
Okay.
fight Asmentus.
You trying to tell me that in this man's military there is no room left for a trained weapon of mass destruction?
What?
What is that?
I don't know where it's from.
Oh.
It's just
Okay.
it's a meme. I'm sorry.
It just came
It's a southern
out.
accent too. Oh my god.
Oh,
Lord.
I've seen that. It's the one they're talking about people trying to get into the Helldivers servers.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, I've seen that one. That's funny. Oh my lord.
Well,
what were we
I
talking about?
guess this would be valuable to, of course, bring back to the council and show them.
Oh yes,
Uh,
definitely.
We still have to negotiate with Speeb, right?
We do. And let's hope that our negotiations go a bit smoother after we warned them
Right.
of destruction. Not that we were able to help. Well, we did help defeat Belistar, and I think Belistar, excuse me. Wow, combined some things there. When we bring back Belistar's head, I'm hoping that in some, I don't know, good words for us or something. I don't know. We did, however, I will say, defeat much of the army. If it weren't for that celestial figure, I think there would have been very few casualties. So
Indeed.
yeah.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead. I
was just gonna loot.
Gonna what?
Loot. Is there
Oh.
anything between him and the other bodies?
He's definitely got some like valuable gemstones on him. And he also has like a talisman of Nelia wrapped around his neck.
How shall I tally the
Which part?
gemstones?
So he's got 2 onyx and 1
wait.
large pearl.
Okay, 2 onyx and 1 pearl.
Yeah.
1 large pearl.
He's also got a silver talisman of Nelia around his neck.
With the 2 druids, do you think they have anything on them or no?
The druids kind of just have more like component satchels with some herbs and whatnot. Like herb packs.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
The knights have lances, if you're interested in that.
Ooh.
You guys freaking killed Valistar's horse, so no sense in taking the horse, I suppose.
Rip the horse. I'm still sad about the horse, but it was a evil by association. R.I.P. horse.
Hello, Holland. Welcome back.
Has the evil been defeated? Odin.
We cannot
hear
One.
you. Oh, can hear you
Can you
now.
hear me now?
Yes.
It has, but
Uh-oh.
no one has one. I don't know if you can see it. It's
Oh no.
right.
Are you sure it's dead? Like, are you sure?
Yes.
Okay.
Y'all, I
They can
used
come
a
back.
Whole spray of botanicals. But
What?
no one wins in this. No one wins in this situation. I will have a burial for it tomorrow. I have not killed a cockroach. I've caught them and set them free.
Oh, girl, you're better than
And
me.
it would not let me.
You should not do that. You should
You know,
just kill them
that
all.
one's too big. One flew
So I
at
had
me.
a bunch of
Lost
lemongrass
13.
and mineral oil, and I used like the whole bottle on it. Anyway, I'm very sad.
What a way
I'm
to
very
go.
sad.
Roach was tripping.
But it's so sad because its head's down. It's like I'm like,
It's probably faking it, honestly. They can
Have
come
you-
back from a lot of shit.
Have you told Ryan that you're killing it with magic?
Put some crystals around in a candle.
Because I'm sure he'll want to know that you're
when we
killing
had
it with magic.
COVID, Ryan was like, Bus, it's okay. Mama's just doing her witchcraft. It's all right.
Yeah, no one ever. Just chanting in Latin over it.
But yes, I am sad.
But yes, we were sorry. We were looting the bodies of the things that we killed last session. Just like getting the like stuff out of their like pockets and such.
I missed looting.
Well, I mean, technically, we're still in the process of looting. So.
Oh, okay. Little's roll for loot.
Roll for loot.
Little's
like
looting the freak
scraps
out
of clothing
people.
flying everywhere.
Like taking people's like gold teeth out. Like.
I mean, there's definitely some heavy armor on some of these knights and stuff, like plate armor. So I mean, if you wanted to take that, sell it. It's very heavy, so you're like pack ratting it up.
Did the druids have any sort of cool armor, or is it just kind of cloaks and shit?
It was mostly cloaks.
Lame.
Just kind of components and whatnot.
I ignore that then.
You find some talisman on a couple of them, like 3 talisman total. Made out of silver.
Silver.
Alright.
And that's little, right? Or is that me?
That's just kind of 3 divided, however you guys want to be divided, so.
Cool.
Alright, you guys done looting?
Yes.
Are you guys done chatting?
Yeah. Oh, are we done chatting?
I'd say so.
Okay.
Let's go back.
So, you guys leave kind of this canyon area and exit the woods. You make the several-mile journey back to Sabib. You find that they are still kind of in the process of digging out the rubble from where the explosion was. Once again, you see bodies kind of strewn about, somewhere in the direct line of impact from the explosion, somewhere impacted by the rubble. You see many, many people hurt. You see people trying to look for their family members, their friends, their loved ones in general. There wasn't much time to exit the city or to get to a safe place. They did the best they could, but obviously it didn't cover everybody. You walk through seeing carnage, the wails of mothers looking for their children and family members looking for each other. You see the soldiers trying to create some sort of order to this chaos. And kind of in the center of it, you see the captain of the guard organizing all of it.
Sir Maynard, I wish you leave.
Where are you going?
I don't know anywhere but here. We're back to the city, I guess. I don't know. I don't want to watch these people fall down and trip and cry.
Fair enough. I'll go up to the captain. Say, excuse me, sir?
He looks over and he says, "It's you! You're Klaus's friend."
Yes, fortunately Klaus did not make it. He was slain.
He bows deeply and he says, "I'm deeply sorry to hear that."
Yes, that's
As are we.
at least he died an honorable death.
Incinerated. No trace left of him. Absolutely gone.
However, we were, through his sacrifice, we were able to slay their leader. We have his head. If you would like to see it.
He says, "Of course, I would love to."
Take it out. Here he is.
You have the still warm head of Valistar dripping blood out of the bottom of it. He looks at it and he kind of holds it close and he says, "This is no human."
Yes,
Nor
we
is
think
this
he's
an elf.
part Aasimar. At least part.
He says, "A celestial being."
Yes, they are.
Why are you guys laughing? Because he said ass?
The way it was said was just funny. Why is
Asmar.
it Asmar? Why couldn't it be Asamar? That's how I pronounced it initially. I was like, Asamar! The celestial being, the Asamar.
You just really went
So
hard
funny.
on that R, you know? It's-
This is the head of Asmar.
There is no non-funny way to say Asmar, in my opinion.
It says ass. Ha 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 ha
Just the
ha
way it's pronounced.
Ah.
These celestial
Anyway.
holy beings. Yes, sorry.
Ass.
Chose myself now.
Asmar.
So, he says, a celestial being
Yes, they are.
fighting on the side of that beast?
The horse?
Azamentus!
Endurance
yes,
just quietly
that
slaps her knee in the background.
The horse is dead. Azamentus was not there, unfortunately, but we were able to slay all the others.
And we were able to get a look into where their little base of operations may be. It's a city near Narn Cross. I've never seen it before, but I got a very clear look at it in the vision I had. Or I say vision. It's the vision of one of the knights that we fought, who is now dead, but I was able to look into her mind.
He reaches out to Maynard and extends a hand.
Kind of first get a hand the head to him, like, oh no, and then shake his hand.
He shakes your hand and says, kind of clasps your hand in his, and he says, thank you for putting your life on the line to defend our city.
No problem. It's actually a coincidence that you're here. We had heard that we actually were on our way here to discuss a potential, I guess, some support from the city for combating Azamentus and his men. When we were on our way, a friend of ours notified us that there were troops headed here. So we were trying to notify you as soon as possible. But seeing as this is taken care of, if you don't mind, if we could have an audience with the mayor to discuss these things.
I think given the circumstances, that is appropriate.
Very good.
I shall take you there immediately. Sawyer, you look like one of those, like, like the Chinese lions. You know what I'm talking about? Like
That's
the statues.
That's right.
No, like the statues. You know what I'm talking about?
Bro,
Like the
I
lion
got sent
dogs.
in one of the group chats I'm in. I got sent a picture of a statue of a Jollibee. They said, "Look at Ben."
What?
God.
Like
Wait.
they have little like Jollibee statues outside of the Jollibees.
Oh my god.
What is a Jollibee?
Yeah, I can't say I know what a Jollibee is.
You don't know what Jollibee is?
What is that?
It's
He's mad about that.
I'm looking at
It's-
picture.
All
it's
I
like
know is Childish Gambino, and I'm at your local Jollibee.
Oh yeah.
yeah. See, he gets it.
He?
That's not what I expected.
Oh, never mind. Childish Gambino. I thought
Yeah.
This?
I'm in.
Yeah, it's a
Why is it
Filipino.
you?
It's a Filipino fast food chain.
Oh, I see.
That's
I see.
Yeah.
I did
Why
not
does-
know that.
It doesn't
They
look
said,
like
look at Ben.
Oh
Look
my
at
God.
Ben. Oh my god.
I don't see it.
Yeah, because it's Filipino, man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm fired, Sawyer.
Anyway,
Okay.
Oh my god.
he says, please, you can follow me. I will take you to the mayor.
Very well.
So, you board the captain's private boat and you go back across to the island where the trestles fly free. You go up the pathway. The one you happen to follow this time is a lot more well manicured and regal. You follow this cobblestone path through many, many hedges until you reach the front entrance of the house that you previously were at, this large chateau-looking home. And no longer do you see the people that are out front having fun, but the large gate locked tight with guards at the front. The captain has a few words and escorts you through the gates into the home. It is a very old chateau, has been here for several hundred years, but has been very well taken care of and restored time and time again. You are brought into a long hallway, an antechamber, if you will. What is this clicking? Who is doing this?
I apologize. That is me. Oh, sorry. I did not realize that you could hear it. My bad. That was me trying to change my brightness because it was very bright.
Oh,
I promise I'm still listening. I'll mute
It's
myself.
weird. It's like your mouse and stuff is like right next to the microphone.
Yeah, because it's like down. That is so weird.
I was cracking up.
And then here I am just like, oh, it's like literally like 2 feet away from it. That's very strange. So that's like, this is like really loud?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Heck? Okay, sorry. Muting myself now. We're good.
You're fine. So you enter into the antechamber. Kind of one of the servants stops you for a moment, goes through the door to kind of address whoever's on the other side, and eventually you are brought through. There you see sitting this very regal woman with her hair done up in a very tall, gray, bouffant, if you will. And alongside her, this older gentleman and this very eccentric-looking younger gentleman, as well as the young girl and the rabbit boy that you guys encountered last 2 sessions ago, something. Anyway, the rabbit boy kind of peeks up and he looks at you and he says, "Hey, I know you. You lot were the ones that were out front of our house the other day."
You got us. That was us.
And the little girl goes, "Jack, that is no way to introduce our guests to our parents." And the mayor looks your way and she kind of has this very regal way about her and she says, "I hear that you have some news for us. Are you not the ones that have written to us before?"
Kind of nudge Silas.
Wait, what? Have we?
Yes, we have.
Yes, of course. When did we write to them? Wait, what?
Oh, did we have people write to them, or was it literally us? Didn't we have people like dispatched or something?
We had them send a letter to him, and they said no.
We were associated with them. We weren't particularly them, but
I can't write.
like I said, associates.
It wasn't me.
Well, we are a part of that organization.
Yes.
Remind me again what your requests were.
Madam, we would appreciate it if we could potentially set up headquarters in Sabib, seeing as it is a very easily defendable and just overall a good location for us. Seeing as how the situation with Asmentis has come to your doorstep, it's going to happen at some point, and if you would allow us some form of headquarters here, as we do not have one now, that would allow us to build some sort of response towards Asamentus to hopefully combine forces with other cities as well and take him out.
Unfortunately, given the events of today, I may be forced to accept your proposal. The captain also informed me that you have the head of this miscreant that decided to leave this charge upon us. Might I see it?
Of course, my lady. Pull the head out.
She walks up close to it, gives it a cold stare, kind of brushes the hair from its forehead, and says,
Yeah.
I wished to avoid this conflict for as long as possible. But it seems that we can no longer turn a blind eye. Very well. Give us time to evacuate our citizens. They do not need to be involved in this. We need time to get them to a safe place before this becomes a war zone. Truly. It's not safe as is, given that that thing destroyed half of our old town just in a split second. Alright. You can tell the leader of this group you're in that we will accept. And we will lend what aid we can. But also please, for the good of my people, provide all the safety that you can and help us to move them away from this place.
Yes, my lady. And I apologize for not introducing myself. I am Sir Maynard. And can I motion to everyone else?
Hogan.
Endurance.
And Silas.
And what was your name, my lady?
My name is Tana. And this is Ephraim. And she points to her husband. And he kind of stoically nods his head.
Kind of give a little bow. This is a pleasure. And we are deeply grateful and appreciative of what you've done this day. May this be the beginning of the end of Azimentus.
May it be the end of Azimentus.
Now, we will, of course, you will be compensated. Your city will. We must discuss with our council as well. And are we able to relocate here at once? Or do you need to make preparations?
Give us 5 days. We can mobilize our troops as well as our people. There are nearby villages we may be able to take refuge in for the time being. I have cousins that have titles along the coast. They may be able to provide us refuge. I will look into it post haste, but we will be evacuated within 5 days.
Very well. Just give another bow and then turn away.
Same.
Thank you for what you did today. We are indebted to you, truly. And she kind of turns away as well and kind of begins pinching her nose in stress for what the impending next 5 days will hold. With that, you exit the manor.
Well, that
She's-
went good.
Did she smell something bad?
I think that would be a reaction to stress rather than smell.
I've never seen that reaction. I don't.
It could have also been the smell. I mean, we did just fight for 5 hours straight. So
I only react like that when monkeys throw poop at me.
to each their own.
Sounds stressful.
That sounds stressful.
So stressful.
Sounds
Not-
like a Saturday night to me. And boys.
High five.
Oh my god.
So I'm confused. Are we supposed to help her evacuate the people?
I mean, I believe you kind of said that we have to speak with our council. She said they'll be evacuated in 5 days. I would assume we inform the council and she would take care of the evacuation. But I mean, we could always lend a bit of a hand before we leave.
Should we
Help
go
them out
back
a
in
bit.
there? We should go back in there and ask.
I think we
We have to make
Hey,
sure.
so
Specifically,
I think it would be good of us. I mean, I don't know. We don't know this city as well as they do. I would hate to hinder their progress, but we could always ask if we could help. But I do think informing the council is a very pertinent thing we have to do.
So how long does it take to get back to council?
like a day.
Oh shoot. Yeah,
Hmm.
let's do that.
okay.
Yeah.
Easier than going back in there and asking her.
Absolutely.
Yes, this is very true.
All right. So you guys are setting off.
Maybe
What
you
time is
rest
it though? I was about to
before we
say,
go.
I am at 8 to
I'm
help.
personally endurance is whipped.
You guys arrive back on the mainland, and you're in the town square. And you see as Haruhi runs up to you, and she says, "Oh, I am so glad you guys made it out alive."
So are we.
I'm glad
Yes.
that you're glad.
Where were you during all of that?
And she like points at some of the slight blood spatter on her face, and she was like, "I was fighting too, man."
Glad to hear it. Well, glad you made it out alive as well.
Hot.
It was yeah.
Alice
she-
daps him up.
She points at she kind of turns around and drags somebody up with her, and it's this like really really old elf, and she says, "This is my friend from 100 years ago.
Oh,
She's still alive." And it's this old lady, and she says, "Hello."
And she looks
Oh.
great.
yes, she does.
You don't look
Lovely to meet you.
a day over 210.
Oh! And she like pulls out her fan and starts fanning herself, and she like gets up close to you, little, and she says, "My cataracts can't quite see what you look like, but
Yeah,
I
but those
think..."
hormones are fucking you up too.
And she
Bad
says,
bitch.
"But I like the way you talk, you cheeky little thing." And she reaches up and pinches your cheek, and she says, "Oh, got a lot of fur on you there, don't you?"
Okay, what? I don't like pitching, but if you want to pet like right.
And she starts like stroking the side of your face.
Oh my god.
Y'all see Little's foot.
Oh my god.
Making
Yeah.
biscuits.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
The lean to. You too.
But Haruhi says, "Do you guys want to like come to my ancestral home from 100 years ago?"
Does it
Yeah.
have beds?
I hope so.
Then please.
More bitches that will pet me.
Maybe.
It depends how many people are alive.
Oh.
How many people are there?
I don't know. I just know where to find it. Come on.
All right.
How long
Who
has
the
it been
heck is
since you've been
this?
there?
100 years.
This is the Yeti that
Yeti lady.
Krogan kissed, and she turned back
Yeah.
into a half orc.
You
Yeah.
did.
Was I here for this?
No.
No.
Maybe
You were
not.
not.
Okay, I was like,
That was a good one. That was a good one. Oh,
Hey,
Lord.
you.
She grabs Krogan's hand and drags him towards her ancestral
Oh
home.
my god.
I just look at Silas the whole time. I'm like,
So she brings you to this very, very large. It looks like it's kind of in a large row of townhouses, but this particular section is extremely large, and it's covered by wisteria vines. And she says, "There it is! There it is! It's right there!" And so, she goes up to the door and she knocks really violently, and she's like, "Wait a minute, I shouldn't have to knock in my own home." And she like yanks the door open, and there is like a very small halfling like butler, and he's like, "Excuse me, what?" And then she just like pushes him aside, and she's like, "Excuse me, yeah, just come through." And she walks in and she says, "It's like I haven't left." And there's a large staircase leading up to a second floor, and there's some drawing rooms and antechambers on the left and the right. But at the top of the stairs, you see another half orc individual. This one maybe might be a little bit closer to a quarter orc. You see a younger
oh,
orc
I messed
person
up the
standing up
blood.
there, and he's like, "Excuse me, who are you?" And she looks up and she says, "Who are you?" And he says, "I am Jonathan, son of somebody. Insert name here.
Germanium, son of Jerome.
Son of Jerome."
Jonathan.
Jonathan.
Dungeons and Dragons movie.
And she says, "Jerome? That was the name of my kid." And he's like, "And who might you be?" And she says, "My name is Haruhi." And he says, "Oh, it's my grandmother's name. Weird coincidence." And she
It's
says,
very weird.
You must be my grandkid." And then he says, "Grandmama!" And very strangely runs down the stairs and hugs. And you guys are kind of like, somebody has failed their wisdom save. But anyway, not gonna
Oh
question
my
it.
god. Oh my god.
So you see this encounter occur, and multiple other orc children kind of run down the stairs, and you see a older orc gentleman step out, and he says, "Mama!" And he runs down and gives her a big hug, and is like, he holds her face and is like, "You look exactly the same." And she says, "Heck yeah, I do. Absolutely. I'm a bad bitch." And she gives him a hug. And he says, "We must make haste for festivities." And she says, "Wait, hold the festivities. I'm not one for festivities, but I am one for taking a big fat nap, because these fellas over here," and points to you guys all dirty and bloody and stinky, "these guys need a big fat nap and also a shower." And he says, "Of course, if these are friends of yours, then they are friends of mine." And so the butlers make post haste to arrange baths and beds for you guys.
Nice.
Nice. I love a bath.
More of a shallow, shallow person. I'm more of a shallow person.
I'm
I'm
more
more of a
saliva.
Oh my god.
Someone just throws her in the.
So, in this grand house, you guys find yourselves in the large baths with big, large bay windows looking out over the ocean. This seems to be a very affluent family's home. You're a little shocked given Haruhi's general presentation and nature, But regardless, you are in a very wealthy home. Everything is to the utmost peak of opulence in this place. Fresh flowers everywhere, paintings of orc families everywhere. These baths, they're very deep, they're built into the floor, and you are exceptionally relaxed. They show you to each of your rooms, and each of your rooms is kind of off of a main common room on the second floor. So, if you guys so choose, you can convene in the common room, or you can go your separate ways into your bedrooms.
Hmm.
Is there like a fire nearby or something?
Sure, there's absolutely a fireplace, and there are some very nice couches. Velvet quilted couches.
Endurance is gonna kind of go and sit in front of the fireplace and just like hold her hands out and just stare at it. Kind of zoned out.
Little walks over and is next to Endurance and curls up and crosses her paws and right in front of the fire.
I'm gonna go find Haruhi. I'm going to ask her a question.
Silas is gonna go look for food.
Silas, you sneak in the direction of the kitchen. Endurance, you are resting next to the fireplace. And Krogan, you go downstairs and you're kind of searching the bottom floor for Haruhi.
Oh,
Find her in the conservatory.
hey Haruhi. Haruhi, how are you?
And she kind of stops munching on the plant she was chewing on, and she says, "Oh, hey, Krogan, what's up, man?"
Just wondering, is your husband still alive?
And she says, "You saw his grave."
I mean, yeah, I did. But just making sure, you know.
He's very dead.
All right, just a little question. I'll see myself out. I'll see you later.
Was that your only question?
Yeah, well, yeah, I'll see you later.
She says, "Wait," and grabs you by the wrist before you walk out. And she looks at you in your eyes, the moonlight casting through the windows of the conservatory. She looks at you in the eye and she says, "Do you like jangle jongs?"
What?
I'm no, not yet.
FYI, jangle jongs are the blue bananas from a previous episode.
Oh yeah, sorry. Very much so. Yes, I do like jingle
Oh,
jongs.
not yet.
Not yet. All right, I forgot jingle jongs were a thing. Sorry, guys. I came here unprepared.
You're fine. You're fine. That was deep lore. That was deep lore.
That was pretty deep, but
Loki's still in character, though. It's still in character.
That's still in character.
All right.
You said not yet, and she says, "Well, let me show you."
Okay.
She leads you over to a tall tree, and there's this large bunch of blue bananas hanging from this tree.
Yeah.
She pulls one off and she hands it to you, and she says, "You look like a man that would enjoy jingle jongs."
Yes, very much so. I'd forgot what jingle jongs were. This is a bounty, a fit for a king. Thank you very much. And I start eating one with eye contact.
She kind of smirks and takes one and starts eating it also.
Oh my
And-
god.
So she finishes her jangle jong and she takes the peel of the jangle jong and just throws it on the floor.
Okay. And then I just see her do that, and then I throw mine on the floor.
She looks at you and she says, I see you have taste.
I see you have Jangle Jongs.
She grabs you by your face and starts making out with you.
All right. So how far are we gonna get into this?
Huh?
We're gonna keep talking about.
You start making out and it pans away from the conservatory.
Okay.
Fade black.
Pro tip: how to get women. I see you have Jangle Jongs.
Okay, so this is like the For the Wolf scene. Like, it's like they fall in the bed the next morning, and I'm reading it. I'm like, no! Where's the pipe? Lay pipe. I want it. Come on, Emma!
That's for the unrecorded portion.
No, I couldn't
Subscribe
believe
for
it's
that
like
now.
subscribe to our Patreon.
Right.
Subscribe to my Patreon, you'll get the X-rated version narrated.
Yeah.
What?
Anyway, the camera pans away, back upstairs to Endurance sitting by the fireplace.
Ew.
Contemplating life.
Endurance is kind of look at Little and be like, I was like, oh god. I was like, ooh, it's like a very ominous backtrack. Endurance is kind of look at Little and be like, Little, do you have a family?
No. I apparated into this world like Athena from the head of Zeus. No, I do. I do have a family, but they live in.
Make up a word. Make up a word.
Gatoland.
Tabaxiville.
Do
What?
I
Flamingo.
believe it. Tabaxiville.
Tabaxiville.
Anita
Oh.
McSween.
I'll come up with a better. But yes, I have 2 fathers.
Oh.
Slay.
Mishra's sitting there and she says, "That is lovely."
Yeah.
That adopted me because I
Oh,
was abandoned as a kid.
really?
Mhm.
I didn't realize we had that much in common.
Their names are Juan and John.
But Little, where are your dads now?
I think they're still living. Honestly, I was a Nepo baby, so I'm just out doing whatever the fucks I want.
What does that mean? What, you have jaundice? What does that mean?
A Nepo baby is basically when it's like Riley Keough is like the best. Who else?
Or like, what's her name? J.J. Abrams' daughter, who's a musician now.
Yes. Basically, when you're born into a wealthy family and they can basically give you avenues for Miley Cyrus. I mean, being the goddaughter of Dolly Parton. But also,
And Billy
she's
Ray
like,
Cyrus.
yes. But also, Miley is like hella talented. So,
Or it's like
is she
Lily
a
Rose
Nepo
Depp
baby?
and Johnny Depp.
Yes. Lily Rose Depp, I feel like, is a better.
Ron
I
Howard
know she is
and Bryce Dallas Howard.
Oh.
Big
Although
time.
Bryce Dallas Howard,
She's
slay.
talented.
Slay
She's super
queen.
talented.
I don't know. Those Jurassic World movies weren't that good.
She
But
was
the help was good.
the high heel
Good
scene where she's
director,
running
though.
from a T-Rex.
And she's a good director. She did do The Mandalorian.
Oh, what else
I'm
was
back
she
on
That's
board.
in? She was in The House That Jack Built. Best horror movie ever.
Ooh.
But anyway, I was abandoned as a kid, and they found me on a rainy day and took me in. And Tabaxiville is actually humans, just humans. They just found me as a cat and raised me.
I never would
Oh,
have
that's
guessed
crazy.
that. That's
Bruh.
actually amazing.
Did not expect that.
No.
And
Wow.
they adopted me and are two very rich gay men who, but like it's not like in Tabaxiville. Straight people are prejudiced. So
What is this, San Diego? What's going
What
on?
jar have you opened, Endurance?
Straight people are what?
it
I
is
agree.
the majority of people are gay. That's just it. That's just it. And so my dads raised me, and Juan and John, and they're very rich, and most people who are born in Tabaxiville stay there. But this is basically just me doing my, what's that thing where people go, they do education abroad?
Study
Study
abroad?
abroad.
This is me basically studying abroad, and
So you ended up at the
y'all can't culture me more than I've been cultured. But y'all can attempt.
Mishra sits back and she says, I'm not gonna lie, this kind of sounds like all those rich people that end up like doing drugs and stuff because you were like with the mind wakers and everything. Like that's where we found you.
Yeah. You know, that is very much in line though with like who you are, little. I appreciate knowing this now.
And I was doing straight ketamine when y'all found me, so.
It's the true studying abroad experience. I mean, I never realized we were so similar. I mean, there are plenty of differences, obviously. You know, the drug part of it. Well, we did some things in my circle, but none of them were like too crazy. I also was a bit of a, I don't know, I guess you could say I studied abroad. I more, I guess, wandered abroad, but I don't know. We were talking earlier, and I feel like a lot of the people here, you know, they have a purpose beyond this mission we're on, and you know, calling beyond this. Obviously, this is the main thing, but and I do as well. But I think I've started to feel, I don't know if it's a sense of hopelessness or what, but I guess maybe I just feel, you know, I have no family to go back to, and I don't often think about that, and maybe it's part of me just tries not to think about it, but I want more than anything to know what happened to them and why it happened, why it had to happen while I was gone. I still think about them all the time, but I don't know. I guess I don't know if this is just me, but I guess I catch myself feeling guilty when there are days that go by and we're so focused on everything that I don't think about them. And, you know, before I got wrapped into all of this, I was trying to figure out what happened to them. That was that. I remember one of my first memories of Mask is that he taunted me with my mother's deaths. And I don't know. I guess I don't know. I'm rambling. Sorry, little. I think I find myself feeling guilty that I feel like my attention is being drawn so hard into this mission, and I know that is the most important thing. But I don't know. I feel like I failed them somehow. I don't know why.
Endurance, I feel like I can speak to this a little bit. I know you feel guilty for not thinking about them every day, but I think not knowing what happened is somewhat of a blessing in disguise. Without knowing what happened, it keeps you in the dark. And sometimes when you know what happened, you get a little too wrapped up in it. And you know what? You shouldn't be wrapped up in it. It's something that happened, it's terrible, it happened. But all that matters now is what we can do for people. And what can be done for people, and what we can do to be better. And we can lament and mourn all we need. And of course, grief will always sit with us. But that is not our future. We cannot let that be our future.
Right.
Endurance, do you know something happened to your parents?
I know well, something happened to my whole circle. I was gone one year, and I would often leave. You know, they took me in. I was adopted into the circle, but they knew that I was a wanderer. I had a wanderer's heart, and they would let me go for months at a time, sometimes away from my forest, from my family, and I would see new places. I would learn new things, see new animals and plants, and it was always so fascinating. And one time when I left, when I came back, there was no forest. It had been burned to the ground, and the only things left were the um, remains of my mothers. I know they died. Everyone else was gone. And I know part of me is grateful that I didn't see what happened to the rest of them, but I think part of me wonders if maybe they're still out there. Maybe they were some of the ones taken and enslaved against their will and sold into slavery, and I'm just here not doing anything about it. But I know I can't at the moment, but I don't know, that ever since we saved that one druid from the effects of that, I haven't been able to get out of my head. And I don't know. Maybe when this is all over, I can actually, I don't know, do something about it, but I don't know. But thank you for talking to me, Nistra. It means a lot. I think this has just been a very crazy time for everyone, and yeah, there's just a lot to think about.
What's Silas up to?
What food they got?
They have many hams, and they also have lots of cheese and bread.
Silas is cutting the ham into like little mouth-shaped cubes to like feed through the mask.
Sorry, could you
Like
do
It's a
that
ham
again?
process.
Could you do that again real quick for me?
Oh my god.
Just a few times fast.
Eating is a process for him, so you know.
Funny.
Oh my
Thought for a
god.
second you would be down there and like accidentally walk in on Haruhi in
Oh.
there.
Oh
Oh
no.
no.
Very funny.
You do hear animalistic noises coming
Oh
from an adjacent room.
No, he doesn't. Actually.
Scurrying the opposite direction.
He just starts cutting like with more pressure, like a little harder. Like...
Making sound. It's funny,
Oh
dude.
my god.
That's good.
Maynard, what are you up to?
Is there like a outdoor balcony or anything?
Sure, on the outside of your room.
I'll go out to the balcony and just like prop myself up on the rail, and then I'm gonna use prestidigitation to conjure a very small like image of what Keish looked like whenever last time I saw her.
Oh.
Just kind of sit
So,
there.
you see this image of this very dusky complexion, dark hair, beautiful headband wrapped around her head, long robes in maroon. This image of this small girl right in front of you. You
Just
can
sit
see
there.
her, you can see her kind of talking, and it's almost like a scene that you captured from a memory of her, just kind of like hitting you on the shoulder and bantering, giving you a hard time, whatever.
I sit there like this, looking at it, just thinking. That's it. And then I go to bed.
You go, I need a max weed.
Need to make sweet.
Silas, you're eating your ham in
Mhm.
mouth shaped,
Mhm.
and a voice in the back of your head says, "Remember, you only have the week."
Dun, dun, dun.
Silas looks for alcohol.
The voices.
He looks for solace in the bottom of a bottle.
He does.
So you each have your own vices as the evening progresses, and ultimately sunrise arrives. Some of you may be more long rested than the rest of you, but you awaken the next morning. Silas, you awaken with your head on the cold stone table that lies before you. Ham
Wait,
cut into mouth-shaped pieces,
did
bottle
I?
in hand.
Oh shit!
Oh,
That
no.
yeah. Oh fuck.
The light very bright in your
Yeah.
eyes.
Oh, I cover like put some like dark fabric over the eye holes. Oof.
Maynard, you awaken from a very soft bed.
Get dressed, head downstairs.
And Darren's you as well. Little you as well. Krogan,
Mhm.
you awaken and your vision is completely dark and you feel something in your mouth and you lift your head up and you just bleh, dirt just comes out of your
What?
mouth
How?
and you kind of push yourself up and you look and you are outside and you look over and Haruhi is kind of asleep face down starfish style on
My
the ground as well.
God. What? Oh. I just.
She looks
Do I
dead.
have clothes on? Do I have clothes on?
No.
What happened?
I'm glad. Okay. Okay. So I just I nudge her shoulder and I'm like, wakey, wakey.
So she kind of wakes up and goes, "Ah!"
Ah!
She lifts her head up and she looks over at you and she says, "Oh." Uh,
Yeah.
she looks around kind of at the sky and everything and she's like,
Yep. Yep. Yeah. Oh, yep.
she gives you a thumbs up and reaches out for a knuckle bump.
Yep. Knuckle bump.
Is this?
And she says, she kind of leans up, fully nude, and she says, "You're welcome to come over and have jingle jongs whenever."
Good to know. Good to know. You're welcome to come to. Gosh, what's it called? What's my place called? My jungle.
I don't
You're welcome.
remember.
You're welcome to visit. You're welcome to visit my jungle anytime.
Yeah.
Yeah, is that what he calls it?
Yep.
Too many euphemisms.
So she just gets up and walks into her house stark naked.
Just a strong woman.
Good
Krogan
morning.
couldn't be more in love. Oh no.
Pardon me. Sorry.
Krogan walks in as well. Does not think about clothing. Does not think about clothing either.
Oh, hello.
Yeah, see Silas. The first person we see is Silas.
I hand him a bottle, whatever's left.
Yeah. He just takes it and chugs it.
Silas just
Endurance.
nods and gives him a fist bump.
And I look at him and I say, "You wouldn't believe." Oh God.
He's hoarse.
You wouldn't believe the night I had. What about you?
I show him a couple ham, like mouth shaped pieces of ham.
Oh.
Oh, it was crazy.
Oh my god.
I believe it.
Oh my god.
I don't believe it. But that's fun. Is everybody else awake?
Mishra throws open the double doors and she walks out wearing a most opulent robe that's entirely too long for
Oh
her.
my god.
I
And
get
she
in
has-
between her and Krogan and cover with the shield.
And she throws it open and she goes,
She
"Oh, I have had the most delectable sleep I've ever had in my entire life."
Endurance comes out after her, kind of like steps around, and you can see just the like very clear imprints of like wood planks like on the side of her face as she passed out in front of the fireplace. And she's gonna come out, and she just looks a little rough. Like her face looks a little puffy. She walks out. She's like, "Oh," and she's like, "Good morning." It's like halfway through and sees Krogan. And she's like, "Ah!" And like turns around and walks back in the room.
Mishra looks at Maynard and she says, "Oh, I see Krogan is over there."
You don't want to
yes.
see him, Mishra. Please don't look.
Krogan,
She's very
Please.
much
please
Yeah.
get dressed.
Okay.
The tips of Endurance's ears are like bright red.
Mishra picks up a bell seemingly out of nowhere and tinkles it. She says, "Please bring us some tea." She's trying her best to do a most posh
Oh
accent.
god.
Who's she talking to?
And milk. Seemingly out of nowhere, a halfling arrives quickly, the same butler that answered the door initially, with a plate of tea as well as snackies and a little thing of cream. Mishra, pinky up, drinking her tea.
Endurance, like, are there like grapes or something? Endurance spears a couple grapes with her long ass nails and just eats them.
Gonna have a cup of tea.
Mishra says, "It has been a while since we have been able to convene together."
Indeed.
It
Just kind of look at her weird.
Yeah.
Well, normally there's a lot of blood and chaos and violence involved. It seems very peaceful right now.
"It is quite pleasant here right now."
It's slightly less pleasant after that, but you know, you too.
She says, "Do you like my accent? I think it's rather fancy."
It's very fancy.
It's
Maybe
something.
a little too fancy for Fred, just early in the morning. Just a bit.
"Oh, okay, I guess I'll go back to my normal voice then."
That's much better.
So what's on the agenda for today? What are we doing?
Well, I believe we're headed back to Sabib, right? I mean, to the council.
Okay. Do we have to?
Do we have to?
Oh, where else would we go?
I'd feel guilty staying here if it wasn't to help the people.
We're gonna just come back here anyway, because this is the new like headquarters, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Can we just send a letter to Jacob Rell to like come to us?
We need to ask him a few more things, and I'd like to ask him these things sooner rather than later,
Right.
because... Go ahead, Maynard.
And wouldn't we also want to see Lodia's thoughts on the whole mask situation?
She's gonna
Yes.
say immediately no, and that will be the whole thing.
She would say immediately no, but We will keep her informed. But yeah, I do think that's a given, pretty much. But then again, there are some complexities involved with that, so all the more reason to get back to the council and think over things. Not the Pride and Prejudice music.
How did you
Sorry.
know that?
Because I have seen that movie probably 35 times.
Oh my
She loves
God.
that movie.
Yeah, that's like,
I literally just played a generic Tea Party music.
that is the beginning of Pride and Prejudice. Like, I can tell you the exact scene it's from.
It is.
Yep.
Anyway.
When we first watched that movie, like I was watching it, this was Savannah.
I was like,
The whole time. She was like, ha!
pretty much. That is me with that movie. Crazy.
The one scene where he's holding her hand and lets go and he just goes,
The hand thing.
I know.
Rent free, rent free, rent free.
I saw that, I
Sorry.
was like, my God.
Sorry. Detour.
So-
I heard that.
Are you guys sending a letter to Jacob Burrell, or are you going to him?
Go to him, I guess.
Yeah. Are we all in? Yeah.
Did you have something in mind, Krogan?
What do you mean by in mind? What do you? I mean,
It sounds like you wanted to go somewhere else.
no, not necessarily. I just, I just want to get there and then get back. You know what I mean?
Of course, yes.
Okay. Sooner we go, the sooner we return.
Smart man.
Mm-hmm.
Very smart. And hopefully it'll be a lot faster without a Yeti detour, and hopefully those wyverns are gone for good.
That's the first time anybody's called me smart. I'm very happy about that.
And it will be the last. I'm joking.
Little's roasts. Oh,
Well, shall we go?
I guess so.
Well, off you go. Haruhi leans out the window, kind of waves a big wave, completely naked.
Oh
you
my
guys leave.
god. And
Bye,
Bird's
friends!
just-
Hope to see you soon!
Ta-ta!
Yeah, goodbye.
I wish I wasn't seeing you right now. Bart.
And she says, so,
Krogan, did you get her phone number?
Her phone number.
No, but I know where she lives.
Close enough. It's the equivalent. Envisioning like a sending stone.
off you go on your merry way. So you guys exit and you make the arduous journey, or maybe not so arduous now that you've made it the first time, journey back to camp. Eventually, in about a day, you guys make it back to the encampment. You notice that many of the troops, they look a little better. You know, it's only been 2 days, but you see off in the distance, Elodia seemingly making arrangements to train them in specific groups based on specialization as well as talent. You approach the encampment, and the main tent still looms large among the rest of them. In your encampment, you still see some people eating what appears to be gruel, nothing of any severe nutrition. You see people that are still dirty. You see people that look a little discontent. They shoot you dark glances as you pass through the encampment. One of the naysayers that had something to do with Maynard's first fight kind of cast a glance at you and say, "Oi, where have you been?"
Wait, who? At all of us?
Securing alliances. More than you've been doing, clearly.
Making moves.
Hey, we've been training hard here. What have you been doing?
Getting you a new headquarters.
Saving the fucking world.
And that.
I don't believe that a
D-
bunch of dung beetles like yourself could be doing things like that.
Well, we
Endur-
did.
Endurance is gonna look kind of not like lean over to Maynard and be like, show them the head.
Good idea. I reach in the bag and pull out giant Asmar head.
The naysayer kind of jumps back a little bit and says, "Oi! What the hell's that?"
This was Lord Velastar, who is now, as you can see, very clearly dead.
What of Azamantus's generals?
You see as a group kind of collects around you guys, and everybody's kind of like muttering like, "Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit!" And they're like, "Did they actually do that? These guys might be a little stronger than we expected." Then the one that you got into a major tussle with last time, Maynard, kind of steps forward and looks around and is like, "Whoa, you guys need to calm down. These guys haven't done everything yet. They haven't saved us yet. All they did is got some measly head of some elf."
Measly, hmm?
I yell out, what's the dragonborn's name?
Why? I almost said
What's his
Malleus.
name?
Dragon?
Dragon, that's it.
Dragon.
Dragon! Oh, Dragon!
You see Dragoth peel back the curtains from one of the large tents and steps out.
Ah, yes, I thought you would love to be here before things get hostile.
Yes.
He steps forward and he says, "What is this gathering?"
I motion to the loud mouth, like,
Mm.
well, go ahead. What is this gathering for?
"It seems that they have beheaded some individual." Dragoth looks at the head you are holding and says, "Is this someone of great importance?"
Indeed, it's one of Azamantus's generals, one that was leading the charge on Sabib.
The charge that we stopped.
He steps
who-
closer. Oh, sorry. Go on.
You're
Go on.
good. And whose alliance we have secured for your information.
Dragoth steps forward and looks at the head closer. He says, "You have secured an alliance with Sabib."
Yes.
Indeed.
"How very advantageous. I must commend all of you."
Thank you for that. The refugees should be out of the city within 5 days, and at that point, it becomes our headquarters. I guess 4 days now.
"We should tell Jacob Varel."
Oh, yes, we also have some questions of our own for him, so that would be perfect.
"Very well. Follow me." He leads you into the large tent that he came out of. There you see Jacob Varel leaning over a large map of Lyceum, carefully planning each and every move. He looks up and sees you walk in, especially with the head, and he says, "Well, welcome back! Very pleased to see that you have arrived in one piece."
As are we. I'll kind of nod to. Are you still holding the head, Maynard, or?
Yeah. I keep putting it away and then people notice it.
He furrows his brow at the head that you are holding.
This is, went by the name of Lord Valistar, one of the generals of Azamantus. I wasn't intending to show it to everyone, they just wanted to see it. It's more to keep for questioning via the Speak with Dead spell. I put it away.
Lord Valistar,
Yes.
you
Said,
managed to slay one of Azamantus's generals.
yes, we did. Along with his forces.
How very impressive! This was around Sabib?
It was at Sabib. The city was under siege.
He was leading the group that was supposed to attack Sabib. My
Yes,
goodness.
well, they did attack Sabib.
Yes, it was very much an attack.
We heard from the Weeping Roses that there was to be an attack, but I did not know it would be from someone so powerful. I'm very pleased to hear that you were able to fend them off, and more than that, to conquer them.
Yes.
Well, it wasn't easy.
No, it was actually very difficult. They
I can imagine it would be no great feat.
and that is actually where we have a few questions for you in that there was a celestial figure that appeared in this pillar of yellow light that proceeded to destroy a good portion of the city in a single firing of an arrow. And when I went into the mind of one of the knights that we fought, um, I saw some very interesting things. One of which being this celestial figure was, or at least one of them, is by the name of Electius. I'm assuming you've heard of him.
Most certainly I have heard of Electius. My goodness. One of Electius's people attacked you.
Oh, well, it might have even been Electius himself. I saw him in the woman's thoughts. He was very much involved with this thing, and there's also this letter that was in Belistar's pocket that describes this sort of allegiance that Nelia has with Azamantus's cause. So I would assume that that would be of interest to you.
Most certainly. Let me take a look at it immediately. So he kind of reads it over and he says, "This is a disgrace," and he just kind of casts it aside and he says, "Can you believe that he sits and he plots our family's destruction, but not only that, but he desecrates the name of innocence in the name of his cause? He tries to manipulate and to grasp innocent people to twist under his control."
I mean, those beings looked very real to me, so I would love if there was some sort of explanation for that. Being we saw one, so we know they're not fake or some, you know, way to get people allied to the cause. I mean, you can. I have the memory if you want to see it for yourself. My mind is open to you.
No, I will not. I will not peer into your mind. That is far too much of a disservice and... Oh, I'm sorry, I cannot stop to think for a moment that Electius, a moon gardener, would simply turn upon Nelia's face to aid Azamantus.
And as blasphemous as it may sound, it seems true. This creature is very powerful that emerged from this portal.
Indeed, indeed they are. Indeed they are, and that is why I am so confused. Why would Lady Nelia seemingly betray us like this? Why would she send one of her celestial beings to do the bidding of a madman?
We were hoping you would have that answer for us.
Unfortunately, I am left just as confused as you are, and very disheartened.
The vision or the memory I saw in the woman's mind, there was a city. It was somewhere near Narn Cross. It was a very beautiful city. I'll kind of describe her, like how or hint to him how like ornate it was and whatnot. And there appeared to be a very large cathedral with an altar where these beings were coming and communing with people. Even I believe it almost seemed like Electius was knighting Velistar at one point. Have you heard or seen a city like this before, or a cathedral like this?
I know of Lord Valistar. He was a very pious man in the Church of Nelia. And it was always very concerning that I heard that he had joined Azamantis' cause, but I just wrote it off as some type of brainwashing. His estate he had dedicated in service of Nelia herself, and had even created an abbey to house saints and prophets alike. But to hear that he was truly knighted by one of Nelia's own, I must begin to wonder, is that truly what Nelia wants? For this man to take over all of Lyceum and to destroy those of us with impure blood? Nelia has never forsaken me before. She has always spoken to my mind and delivered me wisdom and guided me. And not only myself, but my family for generations. Have I joined the wrong side of the fight?
Oh,
I would be thinking more like Nelia has joined the wrong side of the fight. I think it's very obvious who the right side is here.
And he kind of stumbles and sits down for a moment and he says, "No, you're right. Perhaps Electius is not acting on behalf of Nelia. That must be the only reasoning possible."
Perhaps, or perhaps you need to start contending with a potential new reality that none of us were even considering as a possibility, but it seems that nothing is out of the realm of possibility with Azamantis, so I don't know. I would assume that out of all of us, you have the closest connection with her.
Most certainly I do. As one of Relaria Camodin blood and her living bloodline, I do. Lady Nelia would not forsake us like this. There must be something else at work here.
Hmm.
It is up to us to figure it out. I refuse to
That
believe
much.
it.
Well, we also would like to figure this out. It would be very concerning if this was some, well, it already is some, not just based on the, species of the people that Asmentis is attacking, but also based on a religious crusade, essentially, with these Asimar beings, possibly, whatever they are, allied with them. It becomes a lot more complicated than just fighting against some fanatics.
It does. It is not good that we are at odds with the celestial beings. That will make
No,
this far harder than we thought it would be. Certainly.
definitely.
He's just kind of getting extremely nervous from what you can tell.
I'm gonna kind of like look at Maynard, like seeing if there's anything else we want to ask of him.
do I remember, is Electius an aspect?
He's not an aspect, he's a servant of an aspect, but he's like a direct servant of an aspect.
And has there ever been a direct servant of an aspect to maybe switch allegiance to another?
Not from what I know. That does not to mean that it could not happen. We can all be fooled. At the end of the day. So, Electius must be deemed an adversary from this point on.
In that, we can agree.
Dare I say that this fight might lead us straight into Sobernand. For those of you that know history, aka Little, and probably also Silas, because he would probably know this, Sobernand
Hey.
is Nelia's realm. That is her specific realm.
Another dimension.
Yes.
Is it?
Would we not be disadvantaged if we fought there?
Quite potentially. Not many people go there, so we wouldn't exactly know what to expect.
Just go there? How do you get there?
That in itself is a little bit more difficult. It would require the rights of multiple individuals of Nelia's bloodline together to create a portal to go to Sopernant. Or if we were able to convince an aspect to open up the way for us ourselves.
Any aspect?
Any aspect.
Well, we know of an aspect.
Well,
Nah, we'll find a different one.
Silas looks like knowingly at Maynard.
Ignoring you.
Fighting in the realm of our adversary, who happens to be an aspect, would probably be the last resort, I would think, being like, I would assume, like my friend said, we would be at an extreme disadvantage, but we don't really know what's going on, and maybe there's further explanations we can seek out on our plane first, but yes, who knows, maybe we can even get some celestial beings on our side. Not holding my breath, though.
That would be most advantageous.
It would be.
Would Nelia not know this is happening?
Perhaps she does. Perhaps she
Not-
permits it.
Do you not speak with her at all?
We are more connected with her as a being, not her as an entity. The ancients are very far removed from us in the mortal realm. If we're lucky, we're able to interact with an aspect, a simple piece of the ancient.
Well, do you have an aspect you interact with?
Somewhat. The aspect Matrional has been the one to be most closely tied with the Church of Nelia these days. He speaks through the family to theory. Perhaps we can reach out to them.
Does that name ring a bell?
It does.
The one we met previously?
Seda to theory.
Where is she located?
As fate so has it, Seda to theory is somewhere far on the main continents. We have no idea where she is. Her family could perhaps be tied to them, though. Could perhaps be contacted. They're in Herath Abbey, though. We could send word to advocate for us. It could take time, though. Time that we may not have. We can find Seda, send word to her family, or try to contact another aspect.
Another aspect for what?
To get to Sobernand. Find out what's truly happening.
Oh, we just... Anyone could walk into Sobernand?
Any
Not?
aspect could have access to Sobernand.
So only an aspect could go.
Only an aspect or a right. And a rite would take multiple members of the Saints family to perform. And it would take lots of power and time.
Just look at Silas and I say, why has Masks not done this?
Well, I don't exactly know how all this works. I can't really.
You didn't really have any need to at the time.
Well, we didn't really have any need to up till now.
I mean, surely, yeah, something going on with Nelia should have been investigated. We knew that from a while back. We didn't know that one of her chosen was in on it, but
Yes, that complicates things.
well, we do have. I pulled the head out again. We do have this. If anyone can cast Speak with Dead on it and ask him some questions.
Almost looking at her spells.
Will he lie?
I do not have that spell, unfortunately. Well, no, I don't. Not
I
studied.
don't know
at
that
least.
Holland does either.
Oh,
I mean, surely is there someone here that could do this?
yes, someone who has that ability.
If Holland would have prepared it the night before, which I guess she would have probably anticipated this, she probably could.
Ooh. Do it little. Speak with the head.
Can the dead lie?
Do be lying.
So I can do talk to dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do I have to do for that?
Just say, I'm cast and speak with dead.
Cast and speak with dead.
We can only ask a few questions, if I recall correctly.
The head opens its eyes. Its eyes are a bluish light that glow radiantly.
Now we have to ask a question.
Look at Maynard.
So we want to know about the realm. What should we ask about? The realm of Nelia, or
I'd be curious to know if Nelia was on. I don't know if there's a way for him to answer without being biased, but if there was a way to know if Nelia was behind this or if something is behind, something else maybe is happening to Nelia to cause this to happen.
a little, maybe ask him if. Well, he would say yes to that no matter what. And maybe ask him if he knows who Electius serves.
Mm.
Do you know who Electia serves?
The eyes open, look at your direction, and they say, I am at no liberty to answer your questions.
You know, the dad could have liberty still. That's interesting.
Did y'all read the spell?
Oh,
I did, but I don't know if I knew it or not, because I don't know the spell.
Do we have another spell that says take liberty?
take liberty away. Delibertize the person. What does Speak with the Dead say? I wouldn't know
It
it, so I'm not
says
looking it
if
up.
it recognizes you as an enemy,
Oh,
it doesn't have to.
they got to get the guy.
It doesn't have to
Oh.
answer truthfully.
We have to get the guy that we're talking to ask him.
Theoretically, I'm just saying this, everybody, theoretically, if I went away from his sight and I turned into a parrot or a crow and I mimicked the questions, would that work? Theoretically.
Well, I think only Little is the one that can ask questions, right?
Ah, you're right. Only this caster, I guess.
So it's if they think that I'm the enemy.
Which he saw us fight him and kill him, so he knows we're the enemy.
I could technically.
Hmm.
I would have.
Do we have a way to
I don't
maybe?
want to metagame. I have an idea, but I didn't write it on my spell list, so I don't want to say it because I technically don't have it prepared.
Well,
Say it. We have
let's
no other
maybe
choice.
try the remaining questions and see what happens.
Polymorph would probably work, but is polymorph just into like an animal or something? I cannot remember off the top of my head.
Animal, beast.
Okay, that would work.
Maybe ask him.
I do have that disguise powder that Mask gave of me.
Oh,
I have this.
Put it on.
Do it. I guess put it on little type out.
Would we know? Is it too late now that we've
Yeah.
casted it right now?
You have 10 minutes. It's a 10-minute spell.
I mean, but if we disguised ourselves now, would he know?
Hey,
No.
turn him around real quick.
Sounds like an intelligence check to me.
Ooh.
How much intelligence can a deadhead have? Surprising.
I'll make an intelligence check.
For him, he needs to make an intelligence check.
Oh. I mean, can I see
here,
if I
I'll
know
do
about
it.
the spell? Are you
Sure.
talking
I'll
about
do it
silence?
because he shouldn't recognize me without a mask and all that.
Okay.
So I'm gonna use the disguise thing. The disguise powder. I guess I'll sprinkle it on my head or something.
Okay.
And transform into like one of the guys we fought.
Okay.
Smart.
And then I'll come back around to the front, eye level.
Okay.
And what was the first question? Who does
Electius.
Who does Electius serve?
Electius serves Lady Relune.
Write this down. Write this down.
Right. Sorry, obnoxious loud clicking.
Lady Relunacy.
Okay, you guys are gonna have to feed me questions. I'm not entirely caught up.
Let's see.
Electia.
We could ask if Nelia.
Say something like, "Why does Nelia oppose your cause?" To see if she does.
Oh, that's slick. Okay, ask that. How many questions do we get again?
Got 3 more.
Oh, okay. Ask that.
Why does Nelia oppose your cause?
Nelia does not oppose our cause. She told us to do this. She spoke to Electius herself.
Oh.
Jacob's like having a stroke in the corner right now.
His whole life is been flipped upside down.
Well, maybe ask why Nelia wants Asmontis to do this.
Can we make insight checks?
What do you mean?
I don't think
See
you
if it's
lie.
lying.
Can they
Sure,
lie
they
with
They
this?
can lie.
Can they? Even in death, the rat bastard.
Does anybody else want to do one too?
The rat
I'll do one.
bastard's
I'll do
hardcore.
one. I got you.
Because I got a 7.
I got you. It's wisdom is my highest. We got this.
Lowest.
Let's see.
Because
Ha!
y'all don't know if he identifies Silas as a friend or foe right now.
19.
Okay.
Can I roll for deception or something?
You already have a disguise.
Yeah.
Okay, so endurance.
Well, I can't hear you.
There we go. Endurance. He seems very compelled and very truthful at this time.
I don't think he's lying.
Two more questions.
What was the okay?
2 more
Do
questions?
we ask the why
Mhm.
question? Like, why is she doing this?
Well, I
Or
think
do-
he's at that point. I think he's just going to spill some propaganda that
True.
they've been force-fed to believe.
This is very true. Could we? Oh, I mean, mm,
Maybe we can ask them how they open the portals to
it's a good idea.
where was it again?
Sobernand.
To Sobernand.
I keep wanting to say Sovereign Guard. That's from Skyrim. It's literally Skyrim. Good lord. Sobernand.
So ask them how they opened the portal to Sobernand like they did in Sabib.
Okay, so Silas translates that, I guess.
Yes.
Anyway. I am a blessed child of Electius. I am able to commune with him.
Was able to commune with them.
Rip.
You
It's
ahead,
a child.
but you behind.
Okay.
So Electius is Electius. He's an just to make sure I'm getting it right. Electius is not an aspect of her. He's of Nelia. He's like not like a demigod.
So
He's,
is Nelia an aspect?
she's an
Is that how that works?
ancient, right?
She's an ancient?
Because ancient aspect, then the champions or
And
the chosen.
how many ancients are there? Those are the one. There's like 4 of them, right? 5.
5. And so is Electius technically an aspect, or is he like
He's
something
below
different?
an aspect.
Below an aspect? Okay.
Should we ask if she's the only ancient uh, in this plan, or should we just ask what her goal is?
I think if we ask the goal, he's just going to say everything that their
Yes.
propaganda they say.
Yeah. It would be interesting to see if any of the ancients oppose Nelia, or if any aspects.
Or maybe if there's a power or a being, a powerful being outside of the aspects or ancients that is playing a part in this.
Who would that? What would that be?
I don't know.
A powerful.
Like a powerful demon, devil,
Oh, I see what you're saying.
fae.
It would be interesting.
I don't know.
The last question's always the most difficult. Well, what I mean, standing here, what would we say? Ooh.
I'll just ask. Is Nelia receiving assistance from any other powerful beings?
Nelia would receive no other assistance. She is divine supreme.
Oh.
And the eyes close.
So, her and her alone, huh? Divine supreme. It sounds almost like a little ancient battle going on. Like somebody wants to be a superior ancient.
Well, Jacob, if we could maybe somehow keep this head on ice, I think we can ask more questions in 10 days.
Yes.
He summons ice.
Like a freeze it in an ice block.
Just snaps twice and then goes.
Yeah.
Well, are we done here?
How's Jacob Burrell doing with all of this?
He is in the corner like,
His whole life is a lie.
Well, that's tough.
This is tough. Oof.
I refuse to believe that Nelia is behind this.
Uh,
Who do you need to hear it from?
He points at Maynard and he says, "You mentioned an outside force. Perhaps you are right."
Perhaps he didn't seem to know of any.
Actually, he said no.
He didn't
Specifically.
know.
Yes, I mean it could be. Electius is the part that throws me off because he's very clearly a real thing and very clearly part of Nelia. But I mean, to think that Nelia herself could have been hijacked by something else equally powerful that wants supremacy, that is a possibility. But I don't know what that would be to be strong enough to take on an ancient.
Have you noticed any sort of connection to Nelia or other aspects of Nelia that you previously had that has kind of been cut off or is not the same?
Our connections to Matrianor and Yavanna are equal.
The same as they've been before?
Yes, absolutely. Reloon, on the other hand, our connection to Reloon has been dampened, if you will, quietened.
Since when?
We figured, aspects will go through times of ebb and flow, times of speaking and times of gaining, and Reloon has been in her time of gaining recently. We have not heard from her recently.
Hmm.
And what is recently?
3 months?
When did the whole Azamantis thing start?
Past 3 months.
He did
Well-
say he serves Reloon. That was the name he gave.
Do you have anyone you're associated with that is, you would say, a champion of Reloon, mostly?
Unfortunately, most of my people are Matrianor or Yavanna. Many of the people of Reloon have chosen to follow Azamantis.
But you said Sada's family.
Is
Did
it
they s-
Matrianor?
Matrianor.
It would be interesting to somehow, I mean, the two aspects you're still connected with. I mean, is there any possible way for you to commune with them to get their input on what's going on?
That is certainly my intention within the next few days, is to gather every member that can possibly speak to them. Send word to Herath Abbey to commune with them as soon as possible to find out what in the world is going on with Reloon and her followers.
It's like a good decision to me.
He pulls out a chocolate bar and starts nervously munching.
Food. Well, a lot to mull over.
Should we go speak with Elodia?
Sounds like a good idea to me.
If we have to.
You all leave.
And then Helen just pops up.
I wish you would have heard that.
You all leave the tent very briefly.
Okay.
Trying to call Helen.
I'm texting her right now.
Oh, that'll be so sweet.
Call her instead.
Join,
Let me
join.
pause it.
Definitely asleep.
Do you guys have anything to you wish to talk to each other about before we close out for the night?
Oh,
Well, I'm just saying that we know an aspect.
we do. An aspect who also doesn't seem to know what the heck is going on, which I find very interesting. Does Mask
Well,
have any connection to Reloon whatsoever?
In all honesty, it sounds like none of them really do.
yeah,
Per
it doesn't
mask.
seem like anybody down the line or anybody down Nelia's line or parallel really knows what's going on.
Hey, she says, let me unload the utensils real quick and I'll be on.
Ow!
Let's
Hey!
go.
Have you filled her in
Nice.
on what's happening?
We'll fill her in when she gets on. This is a great time for a pee break, and then we can talk to Elodia.
Okay.
All right, cool.
Nice.
May want to pause it. Pause it! Pause it!
Alright. The party goes to Elodia's encampment and finds her training some archers.
Hi, Elodia. What's up? Hi.
How did everything go?
Well, we got him.
Hold the head up again.
That!
No, you had to leave it on
Oh, you're
ice.
right. Never mind. I don't. Yeah, we left
Wait.
it on
He
ice.
goes to pull. He's like, oh wait.
Wait.
Just got used to it.
Wait, on ice in the bag of holding? Like, what are we talking about?
No, I think they're putting it in a
No,
room
literal ice.
somewhere.
Lord Vel, the generals, that Black Knight, we took his head, and now he's dead, and we're keeping him in case we need to use Speak with the Dead on him again.
Again?
Yeah.
Round 2.
Yep.
Well, what happened the first time?
Well, you only get 5 questions.
Yeah,
so-
can't learn that too
Oh.
much. Yeah, and he also didn't answer the first one because we weren't disguised properly, so
What was the first? What'd y'all ask him?
I look at Silas.
If he was serving Nelly, or no, who what's the E name?
Electius.
Who Electius was serving? If Nelia was basically the one responsible and kind of in charge of what's going on, and he, as far as he knows, yes.
Okay, well, that's something. If
Yeah.
Nelly is actually involved, so this confirms my fears and suspicions. So
Jacob's not taking it too well either.
yeah, no,
Mm.
this destroys everything that our whole basically culture was built on. This is great. This is fantastic.
Yeah.
I had my doubts beforehand. I haven't been a huge fan of Nelia since what has happened with Azimentus, but this is still hurts.
Yeah, and it does sound in particular though that one of her aspects, Reloon, is going a little bit AWOL. So a lot of her champions are aligning themselves with Asmentis, and I don't believe the other two aspects are able to really contact her, nor are any, like Jacob Farrell's not able to contact her. So that's pretty obvious that Reloon is on Asmentis' side.
Wait, which side note? Which one was Rayloon?
Reloon
meet
is
her?
the aspect of wisdom. You have not met her specifically, so there are 3. Matrinor, which is future knowledge and research. Yavarna, which is like present knowledge. And Reloon, which holds the tree of like past knowledge. And so Electius, and Elodia, you would know this from Nellian lore.
Right.
Electius is the moon gardener, or one of the keepers of Reloon's tree.
Oh. Did I know this when we were going after him? When he appeared? Did I recognize him?
Well, you weren't there. You'd already left by that point.
Oh. So I guess I kind of like my eyes grow really big and I said, "You said Electius."
Yes.
Ecdius.
I mean, this was one of what was your name?
He was one of the keepers of Reloon's tree.
Yeah, okay. So the aspect you just mentioned, or one of the champions, he was basically her right hand man who you killed. Which honestly,
Yes.
that's very impressive.
No,
Well, we
They
didn't
didn't
kill
him.
him.
We killed
No, he's
his
alive.
servant, which
His
was what
servant.
Malice
Oh,
saw.
It's a whole tier
Yes.
system.
oh, there is like a okay.
One layer lower.
Yep.
One layer lower.
Still a layer though. Still a layer.
Still, that is incredibly impressive. But no, this
And
goes
if you
in
could
the
have seen his
back,
head,
too.
it was big.
It
Yeah,
was
you
very
probably go
large.
Big
find
head.
it. I
Still
don't know where
up
they put
there.
it.
Probably put it in a case somewhere.
So do you understand? Like, this is a direct link to there's no doubt about this, basically. That
That's our
Nellie's involved.
thought. Yeah.
And Bellastar's head said that Nelia was pretty much on their side. I mean, he could also be super indoctrinated, but all fingers point to Nelia being aligned with Asmentis, or at least something terrible having happened to make her aligned with him. Who knows?
This is not good. Okay.
Yeah.
Not ideal.
No, Jacob Burrell said as much. So
Relunacy.
Relunacy.
That's a good
and
point.
nodded slowly. Yes.
yeah.
Well,
Episode title.
Relunacy. I'm titling that. That's it. That's it.
Oh yeah, well, learned a lot. Most of it a little bit concerning. Still good that we managed to, knock Mr. Bellastar's head off, but there still are several other generals and lots of other places that they're wanting to conquer. So we need to step up our game on the front of these. We've got celestial beings going against us now.
So who is who of Jacob Farrell's company is still loyal? Like, now we have to assume that are there potential like moles here, or
I think he did mention that all of Relune's champions that he knew of were with Asmentis now. Because I believe it was he's not able to contact Relune anymore. So that is one thing. The people that I guess are at this council that are devotees of Nelia or her two aspects. They're able to contact the other two pretty okay, but Relune, like I said, has gone AWOL. So, I mean, potentially there could be some that are lying about that and are able to contact her. That would be interesting. There could be.
well,
Who knows?
okay.
Yeah, I'd be shocked if there wasn't a mole or something. That tends to be the case.
well,
But yeah.
on another note, Elodia, just have you by chance, talked to Mask about anything lately?
Yes.
You saw their conversation. Elodia, you were like peering into their conversation.
Wait, what was their conversation again?
Their conversation was, will they renew their contract with
Extending.
Mask? Yeah.
Oh. Wow, so Mask just included me? He just Skyped me in?
Pretty
Mhm.
much.
Yep.
Okay. So, cutting back. You mean about extending the contract?
Oh, so he did appear to you and
Yeah.
asked you?
Oh, yeah.
Well, what did you say?
He didn't so much as directly talk to me. He just allowed me to see what he was offering in your discussion with him.
Oh,
So I didn't have any. He, of course, probably just didn't want me to say anything at that time, just so he could get whatever 2 cents he had to lay out there. At this point in time with Nelia, gosh, that just includes like practically I can barely digest that. I mean, I don't know. Mask has been extremely helpful. I mean, with endurance, he understands what is at stake, apparently. I mean, with resurrecting endurance and even coming, I guess, to offer this, which I'm a little bit shocked. But I feel like there's something more he needs to like put on the table, because now we're facing an actual celestial being, higher authority. So
There was something that Jacob Varel mentioned. Soberdan is the realm, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Jacob mentioned that Nelia's realm, like Sobernan, can be accessed, I guess, one of two ways. If you're an aspect, you can basically just open a portal and walk right in, or I believe if you are some kind of, like, I believe it was a blood descendant, or okay, a blood descendant, you can have a rite involving multiple people that can open a portal, in which that would allow, us to walk through. But an aspect could also open some kind of portal and step in and see what's going on. So I think the only thing, I guess that would be one reasonable thing, would be to ask him to do that.
Well,
Possibly.
shouldn't he do that anyway,
He
regardless?
should,
that should be
but
part of it.
I mean,
that shouldn't even
it
be
seems like that's what I'm saying. He's been seems to be holding back some way.
I
That's
feel that maybe he and his, I don't know, he's a bit of a powerful being, but powerful creatures aren't, necessarily immune to damage from other powerful creatures, so maybe he's wary of what he might find there. Who knows?
but again, if he's allowing, or if he's going to extend our contract, what's the point of it if the only help he's going to give us is to open a portal, which should probably
Agree.
be
I think it needs to be more than that, too.
like, is he going to allow us to use one of his other champions, or because we're not only facing this aspect, which honestly I feel like masks should be beside us in the fight at that point. I don't know how to kill an aspect. I don't know how to go about doing that. So
Me either. Yeah, he definitely needs to put more on the plate.
and
if
then
you
how
will.
long would we be in the circuit?
Again, we did get. I mean, look, endurance is alive.
That's really
It's-
cool. That's really cool at all. But I really want more bananas. So,
Hey, man, you don't have to use code words around here. Like,
Oh my god.
Oh, put my hand in my
Whoa!
head.
if you,
See?
I don't know what you're talking about.
uh-huh.
Jangle Jongs. Jangle
If he
Jongs
doesn't-
Krogan.
If
He's
he
sure.
doesn't get me more Jangle Jongs in this deal, no deal. No deal. And for those reasons, I'm out.
Well, maybe we can come to him with some sort of list that Jangle Jongs can be on there, Krogan.
That has to be at the top.
Yeah. Maybe. I mean, maybe part of the deal would be if he has the power to grant life, surely he could grant us certain abilities of some kind, you would think.
Or at least that. I need some more details, though. I mean, I understand, but how many more times is he going to resurrect us? When is it, like, one too many?
I don't know.
I would
I mean,
also
it's
like to
no-
fly.
If
It's no easy feat.
I understand. I'm not trying, for the first time, Silas, I'm not trying to spit in Mask's face about that. I actually am grateful. If you can actually believe that.
Incredible.
Character
But-
development.
Because I believe it or not, I do care about you guys. With all the craziness going on. Golly, I'm glad Mask actually stepped in at that point. Oh, I can't imagine permanently losing one of our team members, one of our party, for the party crew. I don't know
Mishra's
exactly.
just like, you said it! You said it!
So to that I am grateful, but at the same time, if we're in a battle where we're just being like knocked over, dead, and we're just being like, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, but expecting different results. And I get Mask is the trickster, ooh, I'm here, I'm there. I just need some like
Be cool.
grounded.
Where is Mask? Can we talk to him right now?
I don't think we're ready to talk to him right now.
I think he would just laugh at us right now. He's probably laughing at us now.
But like, if he could give us some, but like, and also like, how long would we further be in this contract?
He said until we deal with the issue. I guess till we kill Azamantis, or I think he may have even said till we find out who's behind Azamantis.
Yes.
Deal with them.
Are we all going to do that?
I think we would need a more solid answer from him, either until Azamantis is dead, period, or something. Any sort of like fine print or vagueness he'll use against us. So
Also, other point, would we go after? Oh, sorry, Maynard, I cut you off.
What if this is like? What if we never find it? What if this is the rest of our lives just chasing this? We're just stuck.
And that's another thing. I need a definite like.
I mean, otherwise, are we just going to leave Azamantis to run free?
I mean, I don't plan
conquer
on
as he
fighting
pleases?
this war my entire life.
Silas. Summon him, please.
That's not how it works.
Did you just eat your last Jangle Jong?
Yes. Please summon him now. I've run out of energy. Please.
He's like withering. Oh my god.
Jangle Jong. Dragging himself on the floor.
Oh my lord.
Please.
So funny.
Gosh.
Well,
Silas.
Yes.
What do you want?
I don't even know what I want. I want to continue. I want to keep fighting alongside you all. That's something.
Is the only way to do this is to stay in contract with Mass?
That would seem to be the case.
Why? I mean, I want you to stay with us as well, but why? If he wants this done, why would he take you away if we didn't sign a contract?
Well, I mean, I suppose you would have to find other champions.
It's just like, for some reason, he wants something to hold over our head, and I can't understand why. We've proven ourselves so far. Why must there be contract? Why must we bind ourselves to him?
I don't know, but there is power in contracts. But you know, you're the one asking for terms and conditions, to be fair.
Was because he said we must be in contract. If I had my way, there would be no contract at all. Don't care what he's offering.
I have a question, just to clarify. Did Mask say that he would like remove all assistance if we don't sign it? So that includes Silas and any other.
Yeah.
So we wouldn't be his champions like anymore.
Yup.
But then as long as we are in contract, we are his champions, we keep Silas.
Mm-hmm.
Keep him. He's ours.
He's ours.
That is what he said, because when you made the contract with Mask, he said, I will send you an acolyte of mine to help you. And that was Silas.
Okay.
So it would only make sense that if the contract is over, Silas is no longer with you.
Okay.
Silas, you really gonna let him talk to you like that?
You're my dad, man. What do you know?
Daddy issues. Can't help it.
I mean, I do owe a serious debt.
Will that debt ever be fulfilled?
I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, technically, we wouldn't all have to get into this contract. If there were some that were adamant and not, and we really felt that the help we get from the contract is worth it, then I personally would be willing to take that risk.
If he were to appear here now with the bananas, the juice would be worth the squeeze for me. I would sign immediately.
Was he even the one who gave you the bananas in the first place?
No.
He was gonna give me a fake banana, and I didn't want a fake banana.
What if they were illusory jingle jongs?
No. He's gotta have real ones. They must
See,
come
what is
from the
Mask
heart.
gonna do for us if he can't produce real Jangle Jones?
Well,
I mean, he
You
can produce
know.
real life, apparently. I hope.
I
That
think we
seems real to
need.
me.
Oh my
I think
god. What if endurance is just an illusion?
Don't put that thought in my head, Krogan! Oh,
we don't need
An artist,
existential
seriously thinking that this is a
here.
possibility.
listen, you are not the first one to have
Silas,
that thought,
like,
okay? I'm existential. in my
Moves a
issues.
hand through endurance.
Ugh.
Karate chops
go.
You're just gonna
endurance.
karate chops her neck.
Ugh.
Sorry, just checking.
I'm pretty real as far as I can tell. For now.
Well, are we allowed to ask Mass more questions about the contract, or is it like you say yes or no?
I asked him if I owed him anything for what he did for me, and he was evasive about that, so he's not the best at giving straight answers.
Maybe we need to find a lawyer. Kind of lay this
That would
out.
be nice.
Jermaine,
That
I
would
was
be wonderful.
actually thinking about that.
That would be nice.
We need an esquire.
Yes. Yeah. That would be nice. Somebody.
Somebody who went to a prestigious law school.
Agreed. That would be nice.
We need Buddy.
Gah, where's Buddy when you need him?
But he wasn't a lawyer.
But
Well,
he
he
was
was-
smart.
He was like an
He
engineer.
was smart.
He was an engine.
He might as well have been a lawyer. I mean, I feel like he could have been one. I don't know.
I mean,
Pretty smart.
I will say this. I would, and I hate saying this, but I would rather be with an aspect that has not in line with Azimuth's than be alone on our own.
I gotta say, Lodi, I am surprised at the takes you have laid out this evening.
Because
I thought you would be staunchly against a new contract Mask.
but you don't realize the fact that Azimentus is directly getting his power from Nelia. I mean, we don't know anything. Like, Nelia is if anything, the opposite of Mask. In a way. The one aspect who's to be of sound reason and wisdom and knowledge.
Yes, it is very strange. I mean,
The anti-mask.
if you will.
Exactly make me feel comfortable with Mask. Mask is more chaotic than Nelia supposedly
He's
is.
chaotic, but
Well, that's what truth gets you.
Now, wait a second.
My thing is, Silas, does Mask gain any sort of, actual power from us being his champions? Like, does he derive something from that, or is it more like a title?
I'm very strong. I bring a lot to the table.
Exactly.
You know you do, Krogan.
I don't know. I mean,
Guess how many bananas this guy can put down?
21.
21. I
Yep.
kind of expected more, but we can talk about that later.
Full size Jangle Johns.
Okay.
I don't know. I guess there are some, there are some beings that gain actual power from these sorts of contracts. So I just never know. Like, is there some ulterior motive going on? Is this fully he wants us to just be the good guys? I don't know. That confusion is still very much within me, but I don't know whether or not I want to even go that path, because having an aspect on our side is good in a war that involves going against an ancient possibility. I don't know. It's all a lot to take in.
I mean, unless one of the other aspects were willing to, I don't know. I just don't know anymore.
Little, who do you worship again?
She worshipped an aspect of Nelia.
Oh, shoot.
Ooh.
Which one?
Yeah, future, present, past.
Yeah, exactly. Future, present, or past. Pick one, Little. I don't think you ever really did.
Past.
Reloon.
Oh, shit.
She's a traitor killer!
Traitor!
It's canon now.
A hamster's close.
Wait, really?
So she says Rayloon?
She said past.
Wait.
What is that? Wait, what is that? Future, present, past? What?
There are 3 aspects.
Oh, shit. Okay.
You serve Rayloon?
Since when?
Always, I guess.
Silas gives her a side eye. Like,
Always.
It kind of makes sense because she was in like the ruins, like just getting,
Zooted.
Were you
Just in the
trying to
ruins
connect
getting
with her or
shisty.
something? Oh my lord! So this means that you've lost your connection with her. Surely.
She still has power.
Oh, dear.
When do you commute?
Gods.
Do you speak to Rayloon? At all?
This is it.
Do I?
Do you?
Guys, I don't know.
We're gonna use.
You're a cleric, so I would assume to some degree.
Do you?
Little's the big bad.
Oh
I'm
God!
trying to look
No.
this up. Is this on my character sheet?
We're gonna
Not at
use
all.
They
I don't
were
think we ever
among
discussed
us
this.
the entire time.
Among Us. Among Us.
Little
Among
there.
Us.
Do I just keep making
She's
it up?
the
I will.
rat.
Keep
I
making
will.
it up.
Yes. When you guys fall asleep for your all short rest, I go out in the backyard and I draw a pentagram with a stick. I sit in the middle of it naked, tail straight up in the air, and thunderbolts come out of my ass. And I say, Raylan!
That's crazy. That's also how I commune with Mask.
Whoa.
I'm trying to do girl find, and I don't see anything of this. I have said, and every time my deity comes up above a person, have y'all never? This is on you. This is on you guys. Have y'all never noticed when I do fucking guiding bolt, a big R comes up in front of me?
The fact that this is so in character is offending me right now. Like, oh my God.
My tummy hurts.
I lean over to Mishra. I'm like, did you give her some of that? Did you hang on to some of the drugs, the mushrooms? Did you slip some
Zaza.
Elodia, I smoked the rest of that a long time ago.
Mishra, I know you got many pockets. I'm just making sure. You seem to like to grab that type of stuff. Keep it secret.
Unfortunately, they're all empty at the present, and that's why I'm so anxious.
Feel that.
Well, this is certainly something that we need to explore.
We should use her connection to Rayloon to
yes.
locate him.
Well, I was the reason I asked, I was gonna say we could use your aspect to get there, but your aspect is the one we're trying to get to, so maybe that's
Yes.
good, maybe that's
How-
bad.
All you had to
Oh,
do with
no.
ask.
Little the Deus
You
Ex
all
Machina.
thought it was me the whole time.
All right, before we
Guys
break
didn't even
before
try to get to know me.
before we break the game any further, I think we might need to call I think we need to call off this session so I can think about this.
I just gotta think about the consequences of my decisions.
I think this is good and I like where this is going, but I need to
Oh,
think about
boy.
it.
Okay, who's my god again? Fucking Quaalude? What is the
Quaalude.
She said me all over again. Oh my god.
Dang,
Rayloon.
everything just got
Prelude?
spicy.
Relune.
Oh!
It's Rayloon.
Okay, I do believe everybody's gonna be considering what's up, and that's what we're gonna call the session.